Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you all of the products that I am currently panning. So this year I am doing 4 project pans, I believe. One of them is a nail polish project pan, so I'm not showing those here, but obviously I will have all of my project pans linked for you guys in the description box. And so I believe I'm doing 3 makeup project pans. This year I'm trying to include less products in each project so that I can do more projects and participate in the ones that I want to participate in. And I will sort of go through the products by category. So I'm not sure if I'll mention what product because I tend to get them confused as to what project they're in, but I will go through by category and just tell you whether it's a usage goal or I'm trying to hit pan and sort of how I like the product, I guess. This is sort of interesting just to see how people sort of split up what they're panning and how much they're panning in each category. So I just thought this would be a fun and interesting video to film. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first products we have for primers are this Milani Rose Face Oil, and I do really like this just to add some hydration to my skin as a primer, and I'm not currently panning any other sort of hydrating primers, so I have been using this pretty much every day, and I do only have a usage goal on this, so I'm not completely trying to finish it. That would take probably forever because there's so much in here and you only need the tiniest bit when you apply this. So I do eventually feel like I want to pan this, but I feel like I might just use it organically instead of just panning it because this takes forever to go through, and I feel like even since I've started using it in a project pan, I haven't really made much progress even though I've used it so much. And then the next sort of priming product is this Milani Soft Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. So this is just sort of like a glowy primer that gives your skin a little bit of dew. And I prefer to mix this in with my foundation rather than applying it underneath my foundation. I find when I do that, it doesn't do much, but I find that when I mix it in with my foundation, it looks a lot more glowy and pretty. So I do enjoy using this in certain ways, and I'm glad to be getting some use out of it. This is another one that I eventually completely want to finish, but right now I just have a usage goal for it. And there are a lot less products here than I thought there was going to be, so I feel like my strategy to pan less products in each project is actually working because it's not super overwhelming for me. But the next category I have is a concealer, and I'm not currently panning any foundations. I'm sort of unofficially panning a L'Oreal foundation just to try to get it out of my collection, obviously because L'Oreal is not cruelty free. But the one concealer I do have in a project is the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. Again, this is just a usage goal, but I would like to finish this because it is just a little sample size, and I feel like I could finish this pretty easily, and I almost feel like there's not much product left in it anyways. But this is not my favorite concealer. You'll know that if you watched any of my previous project pan videos with this. But yeah, I just kind of want to get through this, but I do only have a usage goal on it. And then for powders, I have my Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder. This is in my monochromatic project pan, and this is very well loved and used. I do really like this powder just to mattify the center of my face where I tend to get a little bit oily, but my goal is to finish this. I don't think I'm gonna end up doing that in my monochromatic project pan, but I am probably going to get very close, and even after it's rolled out of a project, I probably will just continue to use this anyways because I feel like I don't have too much product left in here. But I do really enjoy this powder. I just have too many powders in my collection, so I'm trying to sort of go through some of them this year. Now we are moving on to cheek products. So I do have one bronzer again in my monochromatic project as well. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and again, this is just a little like deluxe size sample, and this is so old. I am trying to hit pan on it, but there's no way I'm gonna actually hit pan because I feel like this is very hard pressed and it takes forever to go through, and you don't need a ton because it is pretty pigmented. I feel like there is definitely some usage on it. You can sort of see a dip going a little bit, but I feel like this will take me forever to hit pan on and even to finish. So I wish bronzers were easier to finish, but especially this one because it's pretty pigmented and so hard pressed. I find that I'm not making too much progress on it, but I do really enjoy using this bronzer. And then for highlight, I do have a highlighter in my year-long rolling makeup project pan. This is the Becca highlight in the shade Vanilla Quartz, and I did have to re-press this a while ago because it did fall out of the pan, but I feel like I'm starting to make a little bit of a dip on it maybe, but I feel like this is going to take me a really long time to hit pan on, but I'm hoping to do it at least by the end of the year. And I do enjoy this highlight. I feel like the Becca formula isn't anything too special, which like a lot of people are probably going to hate me for that, but Becca is also going out of business, which is really, really sad because there were a lot of their other products that I did really want to try out, but their highlighters just don't stand out to me for some reason. I do enjoy using them and they look pretty. They're just like not anything super special, I feel like, and I don't know, I feel like I didn't really understand the hype of these, especially because since these came out a while ago, there has been so many new highlighters on the market that have come out and that I feel like are better than this. So I do enjoy it, but it's just not my favorite for some reason. It's like an average highlighter that I would gladly continue to use, but yeah, it's just like not my favorite. And then for a blush, I do have a Clinique Cheek Pop blush in the shade Peach Pop in my Roulette Pan Collab project pan. So I have gotten a ton of use out of this. I did have a usage goal, I believe, of 30, so I'm pretty close to that goal, and I feel like this definitely looks a lot more used than it did before I rolled it into the project. But Clinique is not cruelty free, so I feel like I may end up decluttering this and maybe some of my other Clinique blushes, just because I have so many blushes and I feel like I have similar shades like this in my collection that I just don't need, and I'm never going to go through all the blushes I have, so I may end up decluttering this eventually. The next product that is also in my year-long rolling makeup project pan is this Nudestix Blush, and this is in the shade Sunkissed, the like iconic Nudestix shade, but I feel like this is not anything special. I really don't understand the hype of Nudestix. I feel like there's just as good drugstore cream products out there, and the shade isn't anything like super special. I feel like I have another Colourpop cream blush in my collection that's pretty much the same as this shade. It is a really, really beautiful everyday shade. I just find that it's pretty dupeable and it's nothing super unique. So I am really enjoying using this. My goal is to completely finish it. Obviously it is just a little sample size, and I do have 3 of these that I want to get through this year. I have 2 blushes and then a highlighter that I want to finish this year. So I'm really excited to have this almost done. And then I have a liquid lipstick. This is the Stila Stale Day liquid lip in the shade Patina. It's just a really pretty nude pink shade, and this is in my makeup rolling project pan, so I do want to completely finish this, but I actually don't use this as a liquid lipstick. I do use it as a liquid blush, and obviously you need the tiniest little bit because it is a liquid lipstick, so it's so pigmented, but I do really enjoy this as a blush, and I find that it stays on really, really well, obviously because it is that matte liquid lipstick formula, but I find this to work really well underneath masks specifically, so I tend to wear this when I know I will be wearing a mask that day. And I feel like this is almost done, but liquid lipsticks also last a really, really long time, and like I said, I need the tiniest bit, so I really don't know how long this is going to take me to finish up, but I do really enjoy using it as a liquid blush. And then I have 2 lip liners in projects right now. One of them is in my monochromatic project pan. This is the BH Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Nude, and it's just a really pretty warm toned shade, and I find that it's not the most like nude shade. It's pretty warm and red toned and almost orangey, so I find that this pulls just super warm on me for some reason. I really want to find more cooler toned lipsticks and lip liners. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below in the comments. But I do enjoy this formula and I enjoy using this. I find that it's super pigmented, so I only need the tiniest little bit, but I do still enjoy this, and I think it's a really good lip pencil, especially for the price. And then the other pencil that I recently rolled into, I believe, my makeup rolling project pan is this Rimmel London lip liner in the shade Spice. The Rimmel London is not cruelty free, so I do want to try to get through this, but last year I panned a lip liner and it took me literally almost the whole year, so I'm probably not going to get all the way through this year, and I'm probably just gonna turn it into a usage goal. But I think I want to use up at least half of this, so I did just roll this in, so I haven't used it very much. This is what I have on my lips today, with a lipstick and a lip gloss over top, but it is a more red toned. It's not like super red where it's like you're clearly wearing a red lip. It's more of a neutral nude sort of red, so I do really enjoy this, at least from when I've used it the past couple of days. But I also find that a lot of my lip liners are very, very warm, and I want to try to find some more cool tone lips, like I said, so I just kind of want to get through this, but I know it's going to take me a really long time. Another product that is also in my makeup rolling project pan is this Colourpop lip tint in the shade Z Boys. I panned one of these last year and it went super quickly, but this one is a lot more pigmented, so it's going very slow, but hopefully I will have this finished soon. And I feel like there's really not much product. It's like there's no product left, but there's so much left. Like, that's how it is with panning lipsticks, and it's getting sort of frustrating, but I almost just apply this as a lip balm, so I do apply it multiple times a day most of the time, so I feel like I can get through this pretty quickly, and I really just want this out of my collection because these are not my favorite formulas and not my favorite lipsticks. Another product that is in my monochromatic project pan is this KVD lipstick in the shade Ludwig. This is a really, really pretty, more neutral, cool tone lip, which I really like because, like I said, a lot of the lips in my collection are more warm toned, so I do really, really love this. I feel like there's not much product in here because I feel like I haven't used it too much, and it doesn't look like there's that much left, so I feel like I could pan this, but I also don't want to pan it because it's a super pretty shade, and I don't think this specific shade is available anymore. I know you can still get these lipsticks, but I looked on the website and I don't think they have the shade Ludwig anymore. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that, but I do really, really love this shade. It's just the perfect neutral shade. This is what I have on top of that Rimmel lip liner, again with a more warm tone gloss over top, so it kind of counteracted that neutral cool tone. And then we have a product that is in my makeup rolling project pan. This is a Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Birthday Cake. I am trying to hit pan on this. Super Shock shadows for me are so difficult to hit pan on. I don't understand how people say it's so easy to hit pan on Super Shock shadows because I've used this so many times and I feel like I use the tiniest little bit when I do use it because you really don't need that much of these. And this is one of my only Super Shock shadows that is not like pretty much completely dried up. This one is actually still pretty creamy, so I do want to get as much use out of this as I can before it does dry up. So I'm hoping to hit pan on this soon, but I really don't know how long that's gonna take. And then I did roll a brow pencil into, I believe, my makeup rolling project pan. This is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power, and usually I never put brow pencils in project pans just because I organically go through them, because obviously I use brow pencil pretty much every day or every time I apply makeup, so there isn't too much of this left. But this is another one of those products where there's nothing left, but there's so much left because it takes so long to go through. So I have been trying to use this pretty much every day. I do have it in my brows today, and I just find that this isn't my favorite. It's like super creamy, almost too creamy, to the point where it just blends out like to nothing. And this is also a little bit too deep for my eyebrows. I usually do like a brow pencil that's a little bit lighter than this, so I just want to get through it even though it does work for my brows. it's just not my favorite brow pencil. Now we are getting on to the more exciting part. So these are all of my eyeshadows and the last category. So the first one is this single that I just popped into this really old Colourpop palette. This is the shade Grandstand from Makeup Geek. As you can see, there's only a little sliver of this left, and I didn't completely go through this. I did end up dropping it and it shattered. So I just wanted to finish up the little sliver that I have, and then I will have an empty pan. So I want to try to franken something into it, which will be really fun. But I feel like this is taking me forever to finish, and it's going really, really slow. But I also don't have any product left, or not too much product left. So again, this is another one where it's like I have so little left, but so much. Then we have an eyeshadow palette that I actually just rolled into my Roulette Pan collab project pan, and this is a beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow palette, and I really just want to get more use out of this. I do have a usage goal on this, and I really, really love all of the shades in here. Obviously, these blue shades I don't get a ton of use out of because I tend not to reach for blues, but I really, really love this green and all the other more neutral shades in here, and I love that you can create an everyday look or a more colorful look with this, and it's not like a huge palette. There's only 10 shades in here, and these metallics are so beautiful as well, so I'm really excited to get a lot more use out of this. The next palette, and I'm kind of going to be giving away my progress, but this is the Violet Voss and Laura Lee palette, and I am trying to hit pan on a few shades in here. This is in my monochromatic project pan, and I'm pretty sure you can see what shade I have pan on, but I am trying to hit pan on this shade called Tickled Pink, and I feel like I will be able to do it by the time I update my monochromatic project pan. And I also use the shade Basic a ton, but there is a little bit of a dip going in it, but I feel like I won't be able to hit pan on that one, and I'm just really excited that I got more use out of this. But I do really, really love this formula. It's super easy to blend out, especially the mattes, and the metallics I find are really metallic. This is probably one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, or one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. And then the last palette that I have in a project, again, just as a usage goal, is the Colourpop Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette. I love, love, love this palette. It is so beautiful. I love how versatile it is. You can literally create any look you want, and I also really love all of the transition shades in here. You have like a more cool tone mauve tone and a more peachy tone and then a more green tone, so you really have all of the options in here, and I have really, really loved using this palette over the past couple months. And this is pretty new to my collection. I believe it's my newest eyeshadow palette. I did get it like at the end of December, so yeah, this is probably becoming one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes in my collection. And that is it for all of the makeup products that I am panning. Let me know how many makeup products you are panning down below in the comments, or some specific products that you are panning. I would really love to know. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I also do post videos about 3 times a week, so if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.